of 33rd and Diamond. Kudos go out to the Dell Music Center in Faith Garrison Green and the Sisters of Community Care Coalition. Yesterday, we just provided an abundance of food over there at the Dell Music Center on behalf of the Brothers of Story Mansion and the Sisters from Community Care Coalition, Faith Garrison Green, and the staff at the Dell Music Center, Vince from Caring for Friends. And we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. Go to our Facebook page, the Brothers of Story Mansion, and follow us, because we're going to be doing this until we can stop doing it. Tonight's show is sponsored by the Behavioral Wellness Center right there at 8th and Girard, right in the belly of the beach at 8th and Girard. Tonight, our good host, Caleb Jackson, is on the line. Caleb, how are you, bro?
I'm fine. How you doing?
You know, it's been a long day. But before we get started, we're going to open up the phone lines at 215-634-8065, toll free, 1-866-361-0900. You can even download the free WURD app in your Android or iPhone. That way you can't miss this life-saving show. This is what we do. We do this show every Saturday. It's the only show in the state of Pennsylvania with a focus on addiction, treatment, and recovery. Please get all your friends and neighbors to tune in every Saturday for 1 hour from 6 to 7 p.m. Some more announcements. Today, they had their funeralized Sheila Ward's mother. And if you know Sheila Ward, she's from Mothers in Charge. Give Sheila Ward a hand. To one of our colleagues, Diddy Muss. Diddy, we're praying for you, bro. We're praying for you. We need you as a soldier, boots on the ground for the Brothers of Story Mansion. It's so much really going on. We just want to thank so many people. Watch this. All you folks have been watching me and my 82-year-old mother-in-law dancing viral. I think, listen, Caleb, my mother-in-law, me, both of us have received our first vaccine shot. So we are rejuvenating. We are so glad, and I encourage the rest of you folks who have yet to get your shot, please keep practicing social distancing, wearing your mask, and washing your hands, because COVID-19 has not went away. That's stay on the pulse. Folks are dying as we speak. So yes, me and my 82-year-old mother-in-law, we just been having a great time. We both got our shots. So we encourage everybody else, again, practice those elements of social distancing, wearing masks, and washing your hands. All right, so man, we got so much to cover tonight. Caleb, what's going on? We're going to get right into the discussion. We want folks to know what's happening down there. Watch this. 8th and Girard. Now, I want to go back to Jeffrey. Then I'm going to go to NPHS, North Philadelphia Health Systems. But now it's called the Behavioral Wellness Center. It's under great leadership over there. I just want to thank the wonderful staff over there, Laura Boston Jones and the CEOs, and some of my good friends over there, Tony Moses and Aaron Wells and Jamil Ali and all the other folks, even Brenda and all the wonderful folks that work over there at Miracles in Progress and the Journey of Hope. Caleb, what's going on, man?
I know, right?
Now, we want folks to know how this is so important. Caleb, you are such a wonderful person. We want folks to know your journey. How did you wind up over there to be employed over there at 8th and Girard? And then we'll get into some more discussion, okay?
Okay.
Help us out.
Well, I was a resident at one time. Okay. Right. 2007, they created a homeless program at Girard. It's a long-term program, and they called it Miracles in Progress, okay? It was started by Tim Sheen. Okay, Medella McGuire, Laura Boston Jones, Tony Moses, Paulette Cook, okay?
Yeah.
So they created a pilot program to address homelessness, okay? And they felt some of the issues of homelessness were the fact that substance use or mental illness, okay? So they call it co-occurring disorders, okay?
Right.
At one time, one of my friends was working over at Gerard, and he says, Caleb, you might want to take advantage of a long-term program. And I did. And I was admitted to the program in 2008. And the program was for a year. So I stayed the whole year. And originally, they said, once you complete the program, you get an apartment, okay? And during that time, I said, no, you guys got to be kidding me. You guys trying to get me to be a guinea. I am committed to getting recovered. You don't have to dangle a carrot at me. I will stay in the program regardless. So I told them, no, y'all just trusting me. I don't believe in no apartment.
Yeah.
But as it turned out, they did give me a Section 8 voucher. And I moved into my apartment after the program and stayed there for 8 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So what happened was I was so impressed by the program. After I completed the program, and they said, once you complete the program and you've been in recovery for 2 years, you can come back and work here. And I said, you guys are really fantastic. Guess what? I want to join the winning team in helping people save people's lives. So I came back and I started off as a case manager back in 2010, somewhere 2010, 2012. I became a case manager part-time, and then I evolved into a full-time case manager. And one of the people I forgot, Mr. Ryan Tyree was there at the time.
Yes, Ryan Tyree.
And he was the director of residential service, and he said, Caleb Jackson, if you plan to move up or make any progress in this company, you're going to have to get a graduate degree. You're going to get a master's degree. And I said, yeah, really? So at the time, I was doing this financial literacy program over at University of Pennsylvania. And they had some, they invite you to the different conferences to talk about possibly entry into their program. And I went over to the School of Social Policy and Practice.
Yeah.
And I liked it. And I went to the different meetings and asked questions and so forth. And later I applied and interviewed, and I was admitted. So in 2018, I completed my MSW at University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And that gave me the full circle. Not only did I have the experience of recovery, I had the theoretical background.
Yeah.
Understanding mental illness and substance use. And
but I want you to pause there because I want the folks that are viewing and listening to understand how it's important that you can go from being almost homeless, right? And then God will wake you up. So I think, Caleb, you mentioned that in 2008. If correct, right. you went over there
right.
into Miracles in Progress.
Right.
Seeking treatment.
Right.
Right? No dreams, no hopes, no aspirations.
Right.
And you mentioned some wonderful people like Ryan Tyree. So there's a host of folks like Lord Boston Jones and Tim Sheehan and Tony Moses. And these folks wrap their love around you.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. And you stayed there for a year, completed the program, got a certificate, got an apartment with the mission that if you stay clean for, a year or two?
Stay clean. You graduated from the program, stay clean, you got a voucher, yes.
You get a voucher. And right now, to this day, there's a host of folks over there that are seeking that same approval, staying clean, because when we look at the homeless situation here in the city of Philadelphia, and I'm quite sure, Caleb, you can relate that to those that are viewing and listening. Homelessness has always been an issue. Housing has always been an issue here in the city of Philadelphia. I'm sorry, go ahead, Caleb.
Yes. Basically, it was the people at the program, which they were starting, and at some point, the participants, the residents, including myself, we gave it the name of Miracles in Progress. Okay, because they wanted a name for the program.
Right.
And they didn't approach us in the classical treatment. They asked us, how can I help you in your recovery?
Yeah.
Now, this was during the same time of Dr. Arthur Evans. So
Yeah.
he was the one professing the trans-theoretical model, stages of change,
Yeah.
person-centered, and it worked
Yeah.
because they asked us exactly what they thought we needed to be successful in our recovery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I laid it out for them. Child support was out of the roof, disconnected from my family, financial, you name it. So I addressed all these areas, and they helped me in that process.
Wow.
So my thought was, when I transition out of this program, it should be a smooth transition. Because versus the other programs that I've been into, when you came out, you had everything. It's like pressure all over again.
Yeah.
How do I get a job? Where do I live? All these kind of things.
Yeah.
So they matched you with everything. In other words, so when you transition from the program, you go right into it. Because I remember Tony Moses used to say, "What's your plan?"
Yeah. Yeah.
What is your plan, young man?
What is your plan?
What is your plan? Okay, so that was the motivational,
Yeah.
and also the individuals were not warded off by my size or my voice or my anger.
Yeah.
Because during those time periods, when I was first in treatment, I was an extremely angry man.
Yeah.
Okay, and also I felt as though that I would challenge people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe anything you tell me. So they weren't frightened by me. They engaged me, and they said, "Okay, now that we've heard you, what can we do to help you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
During that time period, Miss Jones used to be on the unit quite often.
Really?
Jim Sheen used to come visit us quite often.
Yeah.
Michelle McGuire used to come visit us quite often. Okay, and everyone asked the same question: how can I help you in your recovery? It was truly person-centered. Okay, and that has been the cornerstone of Miracles in Progress from then to now. Okay, it's not the typical DNA program. Okay, where it's based on punitive system. It's based on restorative system.
Yeah.
Okay, because each person is different, and each treatment plan is be different.
Yeah.
And the people work hard to think out of the box.
Yeah.
To try to reach you. So that was a motivator for me, and I just wanted to join the team.
Hey, but it's funny, and again, I applaud you. I remember vividly meeting with you for many years, working downtown for the Department of Behavioral Health. Tim Sheen was my colleague, and when they came up with the whole premise of creating this model for the homeless population, and I remember Dr. Evans, kudos go out to Dr. Evans and his commitment and leadership back then. I also be remiss if I didn't mention the other folks that were really involved with that, Roland Lamb and everybody else, and me and Tim.
Dr. Kathy Williams, yes.
Yeah, Catherine Williams, Dr. Catherine Williams, are wonderful folks. We've been so blessed, Caleb, here in the city of Philadelphia, for high levels of professionals who understand the need for providing hope and healing. Most folks migrate to our great city for what we do here. Folks come from Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, Virginia, wherever they come from, they come here, get on their feet, get clean, get a job, get a home, get married, and they don't go back to where they came from. And if they do go back, they go back to be a vision of hope to show folks that Philadelphia has become the Mecca for recovery. And I'm so great and proud to be a part of that nucleus of people and the fiber. You mentioned Ron Tyree. Oh, how much we missing Ron Tyree. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
remember
go ahead.
Roland M's always say, victory is certain. The struggle
Yeah.
continues,
Yeah.
and victory is certain.
Yeah. He still
Yeah.
says that.
Yes. Definitely.
So we want folks to be able to understand. We're going to put out some phone numbers for folks that are seeking treatment. There's a plethora of different programs over there, from the Journey of Hope, Miracles in Progress, the Goldman Clinic. Listen, I use this word every week: free. You don't need no medical coverage. We got TBH, you got VHSI. Listen, if you know somebody, if you just right now, you know a family member, a loved one, your neighbor who is seeking treatment. We're at a pivotal time right now with COVID-19, and I want to say this. Our focus has been primarily, when I say our focus, the country's focus has been on COVID-19, but the opiate epidemic has not changed.
Yes.
I want to be clear about that. So if you're looking for treatment, outpatient, inpatient, Suboxone, methadone treatment, this is where you get the information at. All you need is the willingness. We are here to provide hope and healing and life-saving information. We used to say WRD is the information station committed to solutions.
Right.
I'm going to stay right on that.
Right.
And I'll say that for many reasons. We just lost one of our good colleagues, Cody Anderson.
Yes.
And I think next week I'm going to just commit my whole show to Cody Anderson. Caleb, watch this. I've been doing a radio show over there at WURD for probably a little over a decade and a half. And I remember when I came up with the idea, I was listening, you listen to radio, you listen to talk radio, you got the sports show, the astrology show, the political show, the cooking show. Well, I said, well, where is the show about addiction, treatment, and recovery? Yes. And I can share this with you. I recall vividly meeting with Cody Anderson and his son, Bill. They had an office out there somewhere in West Philadelphia, like on Walnut Street. And I remember going in there, meeting with them. And as I sat down and told them what my idea was, they said, that's great. One of the things that I remember about Cody, when I had that office, Caleb, he had like a museum in there of like African artifacts. He had all this stuff. I said, where's he at? But I later found out here's a guy that traveled worldwide. So we love and will miss Cody. Kudos go out to his wife, his sons Kyle and Bill and daughter Teresa. And we, family members of WRD, are forever grateful for his commitment, not only at URD, but over at DAS and everything else that Cody did. Yeah. So Caleb, since you've been over there, and I want folks to wrap their mind around this, that things haven't changed. I think of the history of Geoffrey or NPHS. What was it before Geoffrey, Caleb? It was St. Luke's or something.
Yes.
Wow.
But that's beyond me now. It's a little bit beyond
yes.
me. Okay.
Yeah, and
but I did do a history
really
of the hospital in one of my papers for my master's degree.
Yeah.
Because what happened was I began to study the founding father was Dr. Geoffrey.
Right.
And Dr. Geoffrey set his whole principles for treatment based on dealing with people that were indigent or people that didn't have money,
Wow.
the downtrodden. So he provided medical services and later provided treatment services to those people that didn't have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his legacy. Okay. All right. And as you just said, you don't have to have medical coverage. We will get you medical coverage. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's important that we share that. There was a time that folks found out about, I used to call Philadelphia the Underground Railroad, because folks would come here because the availability of treatment.
Right.
Folks from different cities and different states. And again, kudos go out to the leadership back then. We are at the top of the list. I can't think of any other city, other state that's providing this type of level of treatment to folks. And we just, I see people come here, and I'll reiterate this. They come here, they get in treatment, they get jobs, they get married, they get cars, they get homes.
Right.
And this has become the Underground Railroad. They go back to their city and state, and people say, "Where you been?" They say, "Well, I'm in Philadelphia. I've gotten married. I got a job. I'm working." What a blessing.
Right.
So those that are viewing and listening, please take advantage of the opportunity to get someone some help. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Caleb. Have you seen any major changes in terms of, I'm not going to say genders, but, okay, we're in a trend now where the opiate epidemic is still at its highest. There was for me, I would look at years of, you go from crack, heroin, alcoholism. Are you seeing any different kind of substance? We know about fentanyl and all those other adding things that's added into, but are you guys seeing anything different in terms of any new substance that's coming into the equation now?
You got, the population is becoming more diversified, for one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, culturally. But you have people now with K2.
Yeah.
You have people coming in with the methamphetamine issues. You have people coming in with the ecstasy issues. But for the most part, we're still getting the mainstream, heroin, crack, fentanyl type population,
Wow. I just, again, man, what I want to do is we're going to take a break and come back. And what I'm going to want to do is talk about the length of stay. I think it's important that people can understand the longevity of how long you can stay in the journey of hope and what is the timeline. There was a time when you can stay in treatment 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Well, those days are gone for the betterment. And I think you talked about that, being discharged from a place, going back into an environment where you're back around people that are using, your living situation isn't equate. You're still around people that are using drugs. You still got all those other contributing factors. I ain't got a job. I ain't got a GED. I'm still on probation. My family don't want me to come near because of their behaviors.
Right.
So staying over there at Miracles in Progress and working on all those things you just talked about it, Caleb. When we come back, we want to talk a little bit more about that. Hey, listen, we're going to take a break. Phone lines are open, 215-634-8065, toll free, 1-888-66-361-0900. You're listening to Recovery Talk 101. I'm your host, Rick Ford. We got a wonderful guest on here, Caleb Jackson from 8th and Girard, the Behavioral Wellness Center. We'll be right back.
The Behavioral Wellness Center at Girard is a Philadelphia drug and alcohol treatment center offering both inpatient and outpatient psychiatric and substance abuse counseling and treatments. The Behavioral Wellness Center at Girard, formerly North Philadelphia Health System's Girard Medical Center, has always been at the forefront of innovation in the provision of treatment services for individuals with substance abuse and mental health challenges, and a willing partner to the City of Philadelphia in serving city residents. The center's role in the health and wellness of the citizens of Philadelphia has been and continues to be critical, particularly given its location and easy access to much-needed services in the surrounding communities. They provide effective, evidence-based behavioral health services and partner with participants in the wellness journey. Their services include substance use disorder services, inpatient psychiatric services, outpatient drug and alcohol treatment services using methadone, Suboxone, and Vivitrol. They deliver these services in a manner that is spiritually and culturally sensitive and responsive to community needs. Let them help you through your recovery journey. Contact them at 215-787-2407. That's 215-787-2407. Behavioral Wellness Center at Girard, inspiring hope and transforming lives. There's a new option in Philadelphia for the moment a person decides to stop using drugs or alcohol. It's called Access Point, operated by Northeast Treatment Centers, the most trusted nonprofit provider of addiction treatment services in Philadelphia. At Access Point, you can walk in right now or anytime, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We know that waiting to receive medication is a big reason people don't follow through with treatment. At Access Point, once you make the decision to stop using, we can stabilize you and administer medication immediately. You are able to stay with us for up to 23 hours so we can monitor and treat withdrawal symptoms. We can then work with you to develop a plan of care and help move you into the most appropriate next level of care to meet your needs. If this is your day to make that decision and you want immediate attention, contact Access Point at 844-533-8200. That's 844-533-8200. We are located at 5th and Spring Garden. We are here when you need us. Access Point. For the last 45 plus years, our mission at Caring for Friends has been to provide food and friendship to seniors, children, and families in the 5 counties of Greater Philadelphia. We serve more than 200 community and religious organizations by providing shelf-stable foods and, as available, fresh produce, protein foods, bakery items, and/or dairy products for their food pantries. We value our partnerships greatly and are always in search of new organizations to assist us in feeding those who need it most. We also help to feed homebound seniors through our senior meal program. For more information, check us out on our website, caringforfriends.org. That's caringforfriends.org, as well as on Facebook and Instagram at caringforfriends.org. We are looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes, this is the ghetto. Showing up now.
.900 WURD. And Caleb, you know, we have one more day left for Black History Month, and that's my tribute. Donny Hathaway, my favorite artist. Yes. So we're going to get back into discussion. Before we do that, Caleb, we got a call on line one. Caller, welcome to the show. Hello?
Yes, what call are you talking about?
No, Mitch, are you the caller, and how can we help you?
Anonymous? Yes, there's some problems going on in the city, and particularly in Mount Airy. Now, I don't know if the city is involved. I think it's a surveillance. I believe well, I don't believe, but I know what they're doing is, I know people think I'm crazy for saying this, but there's surveillance in my block. I live in Mount Airy. And these people, I think the Kennedy administration, he probably hired private contractors
to do what?
Private contractors to look in their neighborhood to see if anybody could commit any harm. But what they're doing is they're looking into people's homes, and they're using some type of technology to harm people. And I know it sounds crazy to you, but I know for a fact that this is happening, and I have neighbors, and I'm trying to get. I want to hire a private investigator, and I want to hire
let me ask you a question. You live in East Mount Airy or Mount Airy?
I have neighbors that.
No, I'm asking you a question. You live where?
What?
What part of town do you reside in, madam?
Mount Airy. East,
okay, you live in the 14th Police District?
Mount Airy, the 14th District. And I think it's coming from the surveillance on my block.
Madam, I want you to contact the 14th Police District, all right? Thanks for calling. All right. So, Caleb, we it's important that we try to help people when they call, but I want people to get to the exact nature. If you can't identify, she wanted to be an anonymous caller. If you live in East Mount Airy, then I think it's important for you. You mentioned the Kennedy administration and all that. Contact the authorities, the 14th Police District. I think that's important. If you have issues on your block and all that, contact the authorities. So back to what you were saying, Caleb, in terms of what's happening over there, in terms of, we talked about folks coming back, completing the program over there, getting the certificate, getting their apartments. And I'll share this with you. One of my good friends who was part of the homeless population, he was residing at 69th Street. And because of COVID, they shut that program down and they put them all in a hotel downtown. Thank God for good case management. And he would call and tell me, he said, yo, they're giving me an apartment. Well, I didn't really believe that, Caleb. Well, guess what? I met him at his apartment when they bought a truck and a bedroom set, living room set, and all the other things that he needed. We were able to get him a television and a microwave. So thank God for hope and healing. So he's doing good over there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So have you seen any drastic changes in terms of, when I think about all the external components of lack of jobs, lack of education, all the things that are happening here in the city of Philadelphia, and kudos go out to the leadership over there. How a person can stay there for how long till they get their certificate, correct?
Well, you can go from six to 9 months. You go there for a year, okay? But a lot of when you transition from the program is based on when you're matched with your housing, okay?
Yeah.
Now, some people get matched for the housing within a year or 9 months. Some people may take 2 years. Yeah. It depends on their history and what their needs are. Some people have medical needs. Yeah. Some people have mental health needs. Some people have to be supervised. Some people have to have a payee. It depends on their needs.
Yeah.
The city does, we have this thing called Vidat Spadat, and it does, it's an assessment, housing assessment, your history of being homeless, and what they call your vulnerabilities, and all based on that system. That's how you match with housing, because they want to take in your medical needs, your financial needs. All of that goes into a factor.
Well, and this is one of the things that's troubling to me, Caleb. watching the news the other day, when we talking about the homeless encampments, I remember clearly Gurney Street. I remember all that. I remember Love Park. But I watched the news the other day. Folks are underground at
Patco.
Huh?
Patco?
Petco, and they got tents and everything down there.
Yes.
And, I watched clearly, I'll share this. When I was assigned to Operation Sunrise 15 years ago with former police commissioner Sylvester Johnson, heroin was almost 93% pure. The city of Philadelphia currently, with the encampments under Gurney Street and Emerald Street and all that, now it's like anything else, like when you turn the lights on with roaches, they scatter. I'm more concerned about what's happening down near in the Valley of the Beast in Kensington, and I've challenged the city in terms of people say they're not doing anything down there. Now, we have all these outreach teams that are going there, but when you see people down there defecating, urinating, having sex, robbing, stealing, and I'm more afraid of what our youth are seeing. And I challenged the police department to create more of a prevention and intervention program that we can help this community. I feel sorry for the residents down there. I really do. So we got a lot of more work to do. Yeah. So, you guys have a policy here that, and again, I think of all the different programs over there at Ethan Drive. You guys help the Latino, the Spanish, all these different variations of communities that are in there. I applaud you guys for that. I'd love that because I don't see too much of that around the city of Philadelphia.
Well, Ethan Gerard is a full multi-service organization. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have the acute, mental, psychiatric. You have outpatient, intensive outpatient, methadone, non-methadone. You have every aspect, short-term, and Miracles of Progress being the long-term treatment program.
Yeah. Hey, Caleb, we got Diane calling from line 2 on the line. Diane, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, doing good, Mr. Ford, and to your guest. I don't want to thank him for all the great work he is doing. Also, but Mr. Ford, I call you to thank you for all the great work that you are doing. I listen to you every Saturday, and you're giving out food, doing all kind of things. And I just want to thank you for all that you do for others. That speaks so much. I mean, you're just a good person, and I thank you for all that you do for others. Even when you're not feeling good, you're still out there working. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Diane, and I appreciate those sentiments. And I think, what I've come to understand, that God has given me an assignment. I'll just say it like that. I'm just a complete change agent wanting to give back for the greater good of the people. And I think Caleb can contest to this, that we don't make money doing this. I tell most people most people chase a paycheck, but if you chase your passion, a paycheck will chase you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thanks, Diane.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so Caleb, when you get those kind of sentiments in people, man, it just really gives you more of a zeal to want to keep doing more. And when people like me and you, God has saved us. God has saved us. Unequivocally, I realized that for a guy like me who was homeless to be blessed, to get clean and stay clean, 30 years, ain't never looked back. It is equally important for me to share hope and healing to others who feel that are still in the dark. That's why we do what we do. That's why this show has came on WURD, and I thank God for the leadership, Dr. Walter Lomax, and I met him from my very first time over there. I thank Sarah Reese and the family and the rest of the WURD family for allowing us to bring a program of this substance over the air. for those that are viewing and listening. That's why we do what we do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're going to keep doing this here.
Now, I want to add, I don't know if a lot of people understand there's an access center at Fifth and Spring Garden.
Yeah.
Okay. When people are in trouble and they need to get into recovery, go to the access center.
Yeah.
You know, it's the quickest way to either be observed for 24 hours or get assessed for treatment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
know what, Caleb? When you mentioned Fifth and Spring Garden, NET, the Access Center, the First Lady of Recovery, my wife, Sheila Ford, plays a major role. So those that are listening to URD can hear from at the Access Center every third Saturday right here at WURD. We cover a whole spectrum of treatment programs around the city on a weekly basis, starting at the first week. Starting next week, GPHA, Greater Philadelphia Health Action. All the programs they have in South Philly and Southwest Philly and all that. Second week, Consortium, John White. My man, John White will be here on WURD. Third week, NET, Access. And then the fourth week, you just said it, Kayla, the Behavioral Wellness Center. We're not excluding anybody. We are helping everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good commercial for the. So, you know, I don't know, man. So much is happening. Hey, Caleb, have you had your shot yet?
I'm getting my shot coming up. I think it's Tuesday.
Really?
Let me see. It's the 9th. That's when I'm scheduled.
Yeah, I had mine, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. Hey, hold that. We got Yusef calling from line 3. Yusef, we got like 2 or 3 minutes. Yusef, welcome to the show.
Brother, I'm so glad to hear you. I mean, when you mentioned Emerald Street, and I was just there last Saturday, it looks a lot better. It's a lot less people there, and it looks like it's almost vacant. But they're still on Kingston Avenue. You know, Kingston Avenue is the worst strip. But Emerald Street looks like it's almost cleaned up. And, you know, I'm dedicated because, like I said, I've never been an addict, but I grew up with some real good brothers that died from that stuff. And I always promised them when they pass, I will always be dedicated to the recovery of all people, man. And when I see Emerald Street clean like that, it almost brought a tear to my eye. I was talking about, you know, the guys I grew up with and how, you know, they came to my aid when the Department of Welfare threw me on the streets at the age of 15. And they became addicts because they had their own issues. And I never forgot that. I said, you know, people don't understand. Some addicts are the best humanitarians in the world. And they don't see it like that. They say, oh, they're just drug addicts, and all they want to do is do drugs. They're some of the best humanitarians in the world. They would do things for people that nobody else would do. And I never forget that. When they came to me when I was a mere child, thrown out of child welfare because they didn't want to expose them people for the crime they committed against me. So you can leave at the age of 15 on the streets of North Philadelphia. And them dudes became drug addicts. But I always dedicate recovery. When I think about recovery, I think about them. And I said, Emerald Street is clean, and I want all of them to be clean. Like you, I want it to all be clean. I want them to stop this drug flow from coming to Philadelphia once and for all. They can do it, but they benefit from it. They profit from it. So people like us, we determined we're not going to let this monetary monster that they have going on keep our people down. And when you corrected that woman who called in talking about somebody spying on her, that's got nothing to do with what we're doing here. We're doing with our recovery, not people keeping and spying on us. That's got nothing to do with what we're doing. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Seth, for calling, man. So, you know, we try to be open because folks have issues, you know, and I understand that. But at the same time, you know, there's a host of programs that we present here at WRD, the political show. It's a whole lot lawyer. We have a great cast of hosts there providing life-saving information. So, hey, listen, we're going to take our final break. We're going to come back and wrap things up with Caleb Jackson over there at the Behavioral Wellness Center. We'll be right back.
There's a new option in Philadelphia for the moment a person decides to stop using drugs or alcohol. It's called Access Point, operated by Northeast Treatment Centers, the most trusted nonprofit provider of addiction treatment services in Philadelphia. At Access Point, you can walk in right now or anytime, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. We know that waiting to receive medication is a big reason people don't follow through with treatment. At Access Point, once you make the decision to stop using, we can stabilize you and administer medication immediately. You are able to stay with us for up to 23 hours so we can monitor and treat withdrawal symptoms. We can then work with you to develop a plan of care and help move you into the most appropriate next level of care to meet your needs. If this is your day to make that decision and you want immediate attention, contact Access Point at 844-533-8200. That's 844-533-8200. We are located at 5th and Spring Garden. We are here when you need us. Access Point. Greater Philadelphia Health Action, GPHA, has been a champion of quality and comprehensive healthcare services for more than 50 years. GPHA is your total healthcare home, providing medical, dental, behavioral health, pharmacy, and child development services. GPHA now offers telehealth visits to connect you with a provider from the safety of your home. Sick visits, follow-ups, chronic disease medication management, subspecialty care, behavioral health therapy, dental, and more. Pediatrics through adults. Know your health. Know yourself. Be aware of your health and any underlying health issues that you may have. In-person appointments are also available, ensuring all CDC guidelines are followed for your safety. Schedule an appointment today with GPHA, 1-888-296-GPHA or gphainc.org. GPHA, your total healthcare home, 1-888-296-GPHA, or visit us online at gphainc.org. Men and Women for Human Excellence is a drug and alcohol treatment program seeking to strengthen, empower, and inspire individuals through holistic, person-first, strength-based recovery, such as drug and alcohol treatment to individuals and families through 2 levels of care, intensive outpatient and outpatient. They also provide assistance to individuals to begin the recovery process for issues related to their mental health status. Case management services are also provided to assist individuals in recovery with essential services that are necessary for a successful transition and integration into their communities as a productive, responsible citizen. One other service they provide is a substance-free living environment which alcohol and substance users can holistically rebuild their lives by using the person-first, strength-based approach that emphasizes recovery and resilience. They also provide free transportation. For more information, call 215-769-7045. That's 215-769-7045. They are a family-strengthening organization.
Hi, this is Council President Darrell Clark, and I listen to my main man, Rick Ford, heard here on 900 AM WURD.
Hi, I'm the First Lady of Recovery, Sheila Ford, and you're listening to Recovery Talk 101 with Rick Ford on 900 AM WURD and 96.1 FM.
Hey, we back here at 900 AM WD. Mike, listen, Caleb, time flies, man. Caleb, is there anybody you want to thank before we leave?
Oh, definitely. People at Behavior Wellness Center, Laura Boston Jones, Xavier Bancroft. Okay. My boss, Renee Harris, for putting up with me on a regular basis. My co-workers, Lauren Brown, Rajiv Duckett, Robert Williams, Pearline Severe, Mr. Ronald Pope, the director now that puts up with me. It's a great deal. Also, I want to thank Robin Evans. Robin Evans has been one of my mentors for quite some number of years. Yes. Roland Lamb is a mentor. There were so many people, you know, as I just said, it takes a village to make a child. There's so many people that inspired me over the years. You know, it'll take a while for me to thank them all. But also, I have to thank you, Rick, because seeing you in the park and doing the recovery idol and giving me tickets and saying, I want to get guys over here, and you say, all right, we can do it. We can make it happen. We get them down there to the recovery walk, all those kind of things. Because, I mean, you added a different dimension, because the reality is a lot of people don't understand that you can have fun clean.
Yes.
Okay? And to be able to do things clean, play softball,
Yeah.
listen to a concert, have a picnic clean is very substantial, okay?
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for those efforts that you put forth to provide us with that, okay?
You know, I thank you so much, Caleb, and I just want folks that are viewing and listening, you know, love someone because someone needs to love you back. And I thank you so much, Caleb, and to the wonderful staff over there at 8th and Gerard at the Behavioral Wellness Center, from Laurie Boston Jones all the way down to Xavier Bancroft, and all the people that I'm affiliated with over there. For those who know, that's some place I work also, besides the Pennsylvania Alliance of Recovery Residents and all the hats that I've been wearing here in the city. I'm just a regular guy providing hope and healing to the multitude of people. That's why we do it. And guess what? We're all recovering from something. If it ain't COVID, it's sexing, texting, shopping, loss of a job, domestic violence, broken families. We spend more money on caskets than on college. So let's work together. Hey, my final words have always been love someone because someone needs to love you back. To my wonderful wife, the First Lady, Sheila Ford. And guess what? My mother-in-law's in town. We've been playing cards. Caleb, I've been just giving it to her. So I'm going to have to go back and continue the whooping I put on my great 82-year-old mother-in-law who also received her shot. Hey, man, it's been a great time. This is what we do. We want to thank our producer, Mike, for holding things down. Cody, we love you, Cody, and there'll never be another Cody Anderson in this universe. Cody has helped a multitude of people. God bless his soul and his family. Until next week, peace, and we're out of here.